How many of you have had any exposure to design thinking? Oh, a few hands, more than a few hands. Okay, cool. So this is a topic that you probably could earn a master's degree in when you relate it to user experience design and a lot of the beyond research stuff that we do. So obviously in the next 15, 20 minutes, we're going to hit the highlights and we're going to give you a chance to experiment with this just a little bit. Let's provide a little context here. So we've been talking a lot about a lot of great tools. So all the presentations that you've seen so far are showing a number of ways that we collect a lot of insights, apply a lot of different methodologies, use a lot of different platforms, and do our best to extract all of those individual insights that customers and clients are looking for. So what does all that mean? So what's the larger context of what we do and the research that we conduct? I'm a big picture person, so it's very helpful for me to be able to take a lot of these specifics and try to understand what our clients are up to. What are they really trying to accomplish and where do we fit into that? Because we're not the whole story, we're part of the story. In many cases, critical parts of the story, but how do we take what we do and put it in the larger picture of who these clients are, who their users are, and what they're trying to accomplish? So this presentation is an attempt to try to get there. A little bit about me. I have been with Answer Lab a little over 2 years, and I've done user experience research, market research, and a number of related topics for quite a while prior to that. I also used to lead leadership seminars and workshops. So part of the topic here is about not just design thinking, but how to apply that in sort of a workshop environment. And again, we're going to give you a little flavor for that. Also, I also used to teach entrepreneurial classes from a business standpoint so put a little bit more of that in context of how to apply this to real business, real users. So here's a model that will give you a good overview of what design thinking is really about. This is borrowed from Nielsen Norman. And one of the key concepts here is that this is an iterative process. So this is not an event that happens one time and you're done. How well or how thoroughly our clients do this and how thoroughly they apply this iterative process today varies quite a bit. You know, some of our clients, fortunately, a lot of our clients come back to us over and over again. And we see designs, like when I work with Apple, I feel fortunate because I'm testing the next iteration of stuff that we tested before, and I can see some of the recommendations that they've implemented, and now we're on to the next round. And it's good to see them taking that and applying processes like this. Based on the insight that we provide, it gives clients, designers, developers, leaders, a chance to really develop a deeper understanding and empathy of who their users are and what they're about and what kind of businesses they're running. From there, they can begin to incorporate a lot of the work that we do and a lot of the findings that we uncover into whatever it is they're building and whatever it is they're defining or designing. A clear understanding of who the users are and what their problems are is going to be essential to their ability to do that. That's the essential role that we play early on when they are taking research that we've done. At some point, a key part of this design thinking process is this ideation, not unlike a lot of what we did here this morning with the brainstorming exercise. So it's really about going broad, getting crazy, getting outside the box and really trying to uncover new ideas, innovations, things that they haven't thought of before, different ways of solving the problem. From there, it's on to a prototype phase. Now we've got to winnow this down. We've got to narrow this down to some set of things that we can build into a prototype or a system or a design that we're going to put out there that we can actually now validate. Because there's no better place to validate and test than with, as you well know, than with users in the marketplace. You can brainstorm and design and ideate forever. Then into the prototyping stage, beyond that, into testing, where we're going to go back and then do a lot of the things that we do and a lot of the validation that we do to get that feedback from those users and really understand whether that design, that prototype is doing what users want, whether they can understand and do useful things with it. And then finally, implementation space and putting all of that into the marketplace, into something that's actually out there in the public that they're using. And then cycling back through it again. So this iterative process is really important, really critical to this. So how is this different? Encourages innovation in a lot of different phases, a lot of different levels, so that everybody who's involved can contribute and do this brainstorming and ideation process. Deep empathy for the user and what they're trying to do, which is a key part of what we do, and that providing that empathy and that understanding is essential to making this process work. You know, it's really a process of walking a mile in their shoes, and we all know what that feels like. And we all know what it feels like when that doesn't happen. Going broad, developing multiple hypotheses, brainstorming, finding many solutions, and then finally getting to a point where we're going to decide what we're going to put into play, and then of course, going through that iterative process. So we're going to have a chance to try that.